The bright lights of Kepler Station hurt Jake Morrison's eyes as he stepped off the transport shuttle. He carried a large metal box in his arms, and soft whimpering sounds came from inside. His uniform was dirty and torn in several places. Blood had dried on his sleeves. His face showed the exhaustion of someone who had not slept in days. Kepler Station was huge. It floated in space above a purple planet covered in thick clouds. Ships from many different worlds docked here every day. The station served as a meeting place for dozens of alien races who worked together on scientific research. Jake had never seen so many different types of beings in one place. The walls of the station were white and clean. Strange symbols in many languages covered the signs on the walls. Jake could not read most of them, but he followed the arrows that pointed toward the medical section. His boots made loud sounds on the metal floor as he walked quickly through. The corridors, other beings moved past him in the hallways. Some walked on 2 legs like humans. Others had 4 legs or 6 legs, or moved by floating through the air. A few looked almost like humans, but had different colored skin, or extra eyes. Most of them stared at Jake as he passed. Humans were still new to this part of space, and many aliens had never seen one before. Jake reached the medical center and pressed the button to open the door. The room beyond was larger than any hospital he had ever seen on Earth. The ceiling was so high he could barely see it. Strange machines filled the space, making soft beeping sounds. The air smelled clean but had a sharp chemical odor that made his nose burn. A voice spoke behind him. "You appear to require medical assistance?" Jake turned around and almost dropped the box. The creature standing before him was unlike anything he had ever imagined. It stood about 7 feet tall and had 6 arms that moved independently of each other. Its skin looked like it was made of clear crystal, and light seemed to flow beneath the surface. 4 large compound eyes, like those of an insect, covered the front of its head. When it spoke, the words came from a small device hanging around its neck. "I am Dr. Zixtel," the creature continued. "I am the chief medical officer of this station. You are human, yes. We do not see many of your species here." "Now, Jake, set the box down carefully on a nearby table." "Yes, sir. I'm Captain Jake Morrison from the Earth ship Aurora. I need help with my friend here." He opened the box. And a medium-sized dog with brown and white fur looked up at them with tired eyes. Dr. Zixtel moved closer, using all 4 eyes to examine the animal. "This is one of your companion species. A canine, I believe the term is. What appears to be the problem?" "His name is Ranger," Jake said, gently lifting the dog from the box. "We were doing a survey mission on the planet below 3 days ago. Something attacked us. It bit Ranger pretty bad before I could drive it off." The alien doctor used 2 of his arms to activate a scanning device, while his other 4 arms prepared various medical instruments. The scanner made a soft humming sound as it passed over the dog's body. Suddenly, all of Dr. Zixtel's movements stopped. His crystal skin changed from a pale blue color to a darker purple. "Show me the wound," Dr. Zixtel said. His voice sounded different now, more serious. Jake carefully turned Ranger over to show 2 deep puncture marks on the dog's side. The wounds had been cleaned and bandaged, but they were clearly from large fangs. The skin around the bite marks had turned a strange dark color. Dr. Zixtel made a sound that the translator could not convert into words. He quickly began taking samples of the dog's blood and skin tissue. "Describe the creature that did this," he said while working. "It was about the size of a large cat, but built more like a lizard," Jake explained. "Black skin with silver spots. It had a long tail and moved really fast. The thing had teeth like a snake, long and curved. We scared it off with our weapons, but not before it got Ranger." The alien doctor input the samples into a large machine that began making clicking and whirry sounds. Results appeared on a screen covered in symbols Jake could not read. Dr. Zixtel studied the information, and his skin became even darker. "This is very bad news, Captain Morrison," the doctor said, turning all 4 eyes toward Jake. "Your companion was bitten by what your people call a shadow maw. We have encountered this species before. Their bite injects a powerful toxin that attacks the nervous system of any carbon-based life form." Jake felt his stomach drop. Can you treat it? Can you save him? Dr. Zixtel was quiet for a long moment. His 6 arms moved over various controls, bringing up more information on different screens. I must be honest with you, Captain. In all recorded cases, no creature has survived a shadow maw bite for more than 72 hours. The toxin causes complete nervous system failure. First comes paralysis. Then the major organs shut down one by one. But he's still alive, Jake said, his voice rising. It's been 3 days already. He's weak, but he's still breathing. Yes, which is unusual, Dr. Zixtel admitted. Perhaps the bite was not deep enough to inject a full dose of toxin, or maybe your companion species has some resistance we have not seen before. But Captain, you must prepare yourself. Based on everything we know about shadow maw venom, your companion will not survive much longer. Jake's hands clenched into fists. He looked down at Ranger, who was breathing slowly but steadily. The dog's eyes were still alert, and his tail gave a small wag when Jake touched his head. There has to be something you can do, Jake said. People are supposed to be the best medical experts in the galaxy. Everyone told me if anyone could help, it would be you.
Oh.
Dr. Zixtel's skin shifted to a lighter shade, which Jake hoped meant sympathy. I will do everything in my power, Captain. Morrison, we will make your companion as comfortable as possible, and I will try treatments that have shown promise in laboratory settings. But you must understand that shadow maw venom has killed members of 17 different species. We have never found an antidote. The alien doctor began connecting various tubes and wires to monitoring equipment. 2 of his arms worked to insert an intravenous line into Ranger's front leg, while the other 4 prepared medications. I am going to begin with a broad-spectrum neural protectant. It may slow the progression of the toxin's effects. Jake watched as the strange medical equipment surrounded his companion. Lights blinked on machines he did not understand. The room filled with new sounds as monitors began tracking Ranger's vital signs. Despite Dr. Zixtel's grim prognosis, Jake felt a small spark of hope. At least they were trying. How long do we have? Jake asked. Dr. Zixtel checked the readings on his instruments. If the toxin follows its normal progression, perhaps 12 hours? Maybe less. I am sorry, Captain Morrison. I wish I could offer you more hope. Jake pulled a chair close to the medical table and sat down next to Ranger. He placed his hand gently on the dog's head, feeling the familiar warmth of his companion's fur. They had been through so much together, exploring new worlds and facing unknown dangers. It did not seem fair that their adventures would end like this. We'll stay with him, Jake said quietly. Whatever happens, he won't be alone.
Dr. Zixtel
Nodded, a gesture he had learned from studying human behavior. Of course, Captain. You may remain here as long as you wish. I'll monitor his condition throughout the night. As the alien doctor worked at his instruments, Jake settled in for what he feared would be a long and difficult vigil. The hours passed slowly in the medical center. Jake sat in his chair next to Ranger, watching the monitors that showed his companion's vital signs. The numbers on the screens meant nothing to him, but Dr. Zixtel checked them every few minutes. The alien doctor's crystal skin had stayed the same dark purple color since he first saw the bite marks. Ranger's breathing had become more shallow as the night went on. His eyes were still open, but they looked tired and unfocused. Jake kept his hand on the dog's head, speaking to him in quiet words. He told Ranger about all the places they would explore together when this was over, even though he was starting to lose hope. Dr. Zixtel moved around the medical bay with his 6 arms, working on different tasks. 2 arms operated scanning equipment, while another pair prepared medicines. His remaining arms took notes on a device that projected words in the air. Despite his strange appearance, Jake could see that the alien doctor truly cared about his patients. The neural protectant is slowing the toxin's progress, Dr. Zixtel said, breaking the long silence. But it is only buying us time. The poison is still spreading through his system. Jake nodded but did not look away from Ranger. At least he's not in pain. That's something, right? Yes, the medication is keeping him comfortable, the doctor confirmed. Captain Morrison, may I ask you something? You said this creature attacked both of you. Were you injured as well? Jake shrugged. Yeah, the thing got me too. Same time, it bit Ranger. I was trying to pull him away from it. He rolled up his left sleeve to show a small mark on his forearm. See? Got me pretty good right here. Dr. Zixtal stopped moving completely. All four of his compound eyes focused on Jake's arm. The crystal skin on his face began to shift from purple to a bright orange color. "Show me that again," he said, his voice sounding strange through the translator. "What, this?" Jake held out his arm. "It's just a scratch. Well, more like a bite, I guess. Hurt like crazy for a few hours, but it's healing up fine now." The alien. Doctor moved closer, using a magnifying scanner to examine Jake's arm. The device made soft beeping sounds as it analyzed the wound. Dr. Zixtal made more of those sounds that the translator could not understand. His skin was now glowing bright orange, and all 6 of his arms were moving rapidly. "Captain Morrison," Dr. Zixtal said slowly, "when exactly did this creature bite you? Same time as Ranger?" "Tuesday morning, around 1000 hours ship time. So that would be ... double. Quotes Jake counted on his fingers. "About 3 days and 8 hours ago." "Why?" Dr. Zixtal stepped back from Jake as if he had been struck. His skin began flashing between orange and white. "This is impossible, you are telling me that a shadow maw bit you 3 days ago and you were standing here having a normal conversation?" Jake looked confused. "Yeah, so I mean it hurt and I was worried about infection, but I've had worse bee stings. The pain went away after a few hours. Captain Morrison, do you understand what I am telling you?" Dr. Zixtal's voice was getting louder. "A shadow maw bite is fatal to any known life form. The toxin should have killed you within hours. Should not be able to walk, talk, or even breathe right now. But I'm fine," Jake said, looking down at his arm. "I cleaned it out, put some antiseptic on it, and slapped a bandage over it. Standard first aid stuff."
Dr. Zixtal
began activating more medical equipment. "I need to run tests on you immediately. This cannot be accurate. There must be some mistake." "Tests, Doc? I'm not the one who needs help here. Ranger's the one who's sick." "Captain Morrison, please listen to me carefully," Dr. Zixtal said, using 2 arms to guide Jake toward another medical table. "If what you are telling me is true, then you have survived something that should have been impossible. I have studied shadow maw toxin for 20 years. I have seen it kill beings from 17 different species. Nothing survives their bite." Jake allowed himself to be led to the examination table, though he still looked confused. Maybe it was a different kind of animal? I'm not an expert on alien wildlife. Dr. Zixtal activated a full-body scanner that began moving around Jake in a slow circle. "Describe the creature again. Every detail you can remember." "Like I said before, it was about the size of a big cat, but shaped more like a lizard. Black. Skin with silver spots and patterns. Long tail, maybe 3 feet. It had these huge fangs that curved back like a snake's. Yellow eyes. It moved really fast and made this hissing sound when it attacked." "That is definitely a shadow maw," Dr. Zixtal confirmed. "The scanner is detecting trace amounts of their venom in your bloodstream right now." Jake's eyes widened. "Wait, you're saying I'm poisoned, but I feel fine? Little tired, maybe? But that's from staying up all night." "You should be dead, Doctor," Zixtal said bluntly. "The amount of toxin I am detecting would have killed any other being I have ever treated. Yet your vital signs are completely normal. Your nervous system shows no damage. Your organs are functioning perfectly." The scanner completed its cycle and displayed results on multiple screens around the room. Dr. Zixtal studied the information. With growing amazement, his skin had shifted to a bright silver color that Jake had not seen before. "This is extraordinary," the doctor muttered, using all 6 arms to manipulate different controls. "Your blood shows not only the presence of shadow maw toxin, but also antibodies that are actively neutralizing it. Your immune system is treating one of the most deadly poisons in the galaxy like a common cold." Jake scratched his head.
Is that
weird? I mean, humans get sick from stuff and then get better. That's normal, right? Not from this, Dr. Zixtal said. "Captain Morrison, what you have accomplished is medically impossible according to everything we know about biology." You have survived exposure to a toxin that kills everything else in the galaxy. So what does this mean for Ranger? Jake asked. Looking back at his companion, Dr. Zixel paused his work. That is an excellent question. If humans can survive shadow maw venom, perhaps your companion species shares some of that resistance. Your animals evolved alongside you on the same world, correct? Yeah, dogs have been with humans for thousands of years. Kind of evolved together in a way. The alien doctor hurried back to Ranger's side and began running new tests. I am looking for the same antibodies in his system. If he has even a partial resistance like yours, it might explain why he has survived longer than any other creature on record. Jake joined Dr. Zixthal at Ranger's side. You think he might actually make it? I am afraid to hope, the doctor admitted. But Captain Morrison, your survival changes everything. If humans can resist this toxin, we need to understand how. Your blood might hold the key to saving not just your companion, but countless other lives in the future. You want to study my blood? With your permission? Yes. This could be the greatest medical discovery in galactic history. Jake looked down at Ranger, who seemed to be breathing a little easier than before. Doc, if my blood can help save lives, you can have as much as you need. But right now, I just want to know if my friend is going to be okay. Dr. Zixthal's skin shifted to a warm golden color. Captain Morrison, I believe we may have reason for hope after all. Dr. Zixthal worked through the night, his 6 arms moving constantly between different machines and computers. Jake had given several blood samples and answered dozens of questions about human biology. The alien doctor's excitement grew with each test result. His crystal skin kept changing colors as new information appeared on his screens by morning.
Other doctors and scientists had arrived at the medical center.
Word had spread quickly through the station about the impossible human who survived a shadow mobite. Beings from different worlds crowded around the medical bay, all wanting to see the test results for themselves. The antibody response is unlike anything in our database, Dr. Zixthal explained to the group of alien scientists. Captain Morrison's immune system identified the toxin as a threat and created specific defenses against it within hours. Most species would have died before their bodies could even recognize the poison. Jake sat on the edge of the medical table, feeling uncomfortable with all the attention. Strange beings with different numbers of eyes, arms, and legs stared at him like he was some kind of museum exhibit. He was more interested in checking on Ranger, who was looking stronger than he had the night before. A tall, thin alien with purple skin and 4 arms stepped forward. I am Dr. Kextha from the Vegan Medical Institute, she said through her translator. We have studied shadow maw toxin for decades. What you describe should not be possible. Well, I'm here, and I'm not dead, Jake said with a shrug. So I guess it is possible. Dr. Kextha activated a handheld scanner and pointed it at Jake. May I examine you as well? I need to confirm these results through independent testing? Jake looked at Dr. Zixthal, who nodded encouragement. Sure, Doc. Whatever helps. More tests followed. Jake gave more blood samples and underwent scans. From different types of equipment, each alien doctor seemed amazed by the same results. His blood contained active antibodies against shadow maw venom, and his body showed no signs of damage from the toxin. There is something else, Dr. Zixthal announced after reviewing the latest test results. I have been analyzing Captain Morrison's blood for other immune responses. He carries antibodies for dozens of toxins and diseases that would be fatal to most known species. What do you mean? Jake asked. Your blood shows evidence that you have been exposed to many different poisons and survived them all. Snake venoms, plant toxins, bacterial infections, viral diseases. Your immune system has created defenses against threats that most of us have never even encountered. Jake thought about this for a moment. I guess that makes sense. I grew up on a farm in Kansas, got bit by snakes a few times, stung by bees and wasps, had the usual childhood diseases, never thought much about it. The alien doctors exchanged looks of amazement. Dr. Kextha made notes on her floating computer. On your homeworld, exposure to venomous creatures is common? Pretty common, yeah. Right. We've got rattlesnakes, copperheads, black widows, brown recluse, spiders. Lots of stuff that can hurt you if you're not careful. Most people get bit or stung at some point in their lives. You survive these encounters regularly, asked another doctor, This one with green fur and 6 eyes. Most of the time, sure. I mean, some bites and stings can kill you if you don't get medical help, but usually you just treat the wound and move on. Kids learn early to watch out for dangerous animals. Dr. Zixtel was rapidly taking notes. Captain Morrison, I believe your planet may be far more dangerous than we realized. Could you tell us about other hazardous life forms on Earth? Jake scratched his head, thinking, well, there's a lot. Sharks, bears, big cats like mountain lions, poisonous frogs and toads, jellyfish that can kill you with a sting, plants that make you sick if you touch them, mushrooms that are deadly if you eat them, bacteria in the water that can make you really ill. The room grew quiet as the alien doctors processed this information. Jake continued talking, not realizing how shocked his audience was becoming. Then there's stuff like malaria, yellow fever, typhoid, and other diseases carried by mosquitoes and ticks. Food poisoning from bad meat or spoiled vegetables. Oh, and we have these things called allergies, where your body overreacts to harmless stuff like pollen or certain foods. S purple skin had turned almost white. Your species lives surrounded by all these threats constantly. I guess so. You learn to deal with it. We cook our food to kill germs. We avoid dangerous animals when we can. We developed medicines for diseases. It's just part of life. Captain Morrison, Dr. Zixtel said slowly, I am beginning to understand something remarkable. Your species did not evolve on a normal world. You developed on what we would classify as a death world. A death world, Jake asked. A planet so hostile to life that most species would consider it uninhabitable. The constant exposure to toxins, diseases, and dangerous predators forced your immune system to become incredibly adaptable. Every human is essentially a walking library of immune responses to threats that would kill other beings. Jake looked around at all the alien faces staring at him. Is that really so unusual? I figured most planets would have dangerous stuff on them. Not like yours, Dr. Zixtel replied. My homeworld has perhaps 3 or 4 mildly venomous species. Most civilized worlds eliminated their dangerous life forms thousands of years ago. Through terraforming and genetic modification, your people learned to coexist with hundreds of deadly threats. A new voice spoke from the back of the room. Excuse me, doctors. Everyone turned to see a human woman in a blue uniform walking toward them. She was tall, with short brown hair, and carried herself with the confidence of someone used to command. I am Dr. Lisa Voss, xenobiologist from the Earth ship. Aurora, she said. I heard about Captain Morrison's situation and came to offer assistance. Jake smiled when he saw her. Lisa, good to see you. These doctors have been running tests on me all night. Apparently I'm some kind of medical miracle. Dr. Voss looked at the gathered alien scientists. What exactly have you discovered?
Doctor
Zixtel stepped forward. Dr. Voss, your captain survived a shadow maw bite that should have killed him. We believe humans may possess the most advanced immune system we have ever encountered. It's interesting, Dr. Voss said, but not entirely surprising. Human medicine has always focused on treating a wide variety of conditions because we face so many different health threats. Dr. Voss, Dr. Kextha interrupted, would you be willing to provide blood samples as well? We need to determine if Captain Morrison's resistance is unique or common to all humans. Of course, in fact, I can contact our ship and have the entire crew volunteer for testing, if it would help your research. Dr. Zixtel's skin glowed bright gold with excitement. That would be invaluable. We need to understand the full scope of human immune capabilities. Within hours, a dozen crew members from the Aurora had arrived at the medical center. Jake watched as his friends and colleagues gave blood samples and underwent the same tests he had experienced. The results were consistent across all of them. Remarkable, Dr. Zixtel announced after reviewing the data. Every human shows similar immune responses. You all carry antibodies for toxins that exist nowhere else in known space. Your species has essentially become immune to an entire category of biological weapons. Dr. Voss studied the test results on the screens around them. This explains why human medicine seems so advanced compared to other species. We've had to develop treatments for conditions that you've never encountered. Dr. Zixtel agreed. and it means that Ranger may very well survive his injuries. Canines evolved alongside humans on your death world. They likely share some of your remarkable resistance. Jake looked over at Ranger, who was now sitting up and wagging his tail weakly. The dog's eyes were bright and alert again. It is look. Better, doesn't he? Much better, Dr. Zixel confirmed. I believe your companion will make a full recovery. News of the discovery spread across the galaxy faster than anyone expected. Within days, communication channels buzzed with reports about the humans who could survive deadly toxins. Scientists, military leaders, and government officials from dozens of worlds wanted to know more about these remarkable beings from Earth. Jake found himself at the center of attention he never wanted. Reporters from alien news networks arrived at Kepler Station daily, all hoping to interview the human who lived through a shadow Bite. He spent most of his time hiding in the medical center, helping Dr. Zixel with research while staying close to Ranger, who was getting stronger every day. Captain Morrison, we have received another request for an interview, Dr. Lisa Voss said as she entered the medical bay. This one is from the Galactic Health Council. They want to discuss human medical contributions to interspecies medicine. Jake groaned and petted Ranger, who was now able to walk around the room on his own. Lisa, I just want to finish our mission and go home. I never signed up to be some kind of galactic celebrity. I understand, but this discovery is bigger than just you, Dr. Voss replied. The medical implications could help save millions of lives across different species. Dr. Zixel looked up from his workstation, where he had been analyzing human blood samples for the past week. Dr. Voss is correct, Captain. The research we are conducting here will revolutionize medicine throughout known space. The alien doctor had barely slept since the discovery began. His crystal skin had remained a constant bright silver color, which Jake had learned meant he was extremely excited. Multiple screens around the room showed complex data about human immune responses. What have you found now, Doc? Jake asked. Something extraordinary, Dr. Zixel replied, using 2 arms to bring up new information on the main display screen. I have been comparing human immune system data with medical records from 17 different species. Humans have natural resistance to diseases that have plagued other civilizations for thousands of years. On the screen, Jake could see charts and graphs that meant nothing to him, but Dr. Voss studied them with growing amazement. This is incredible, she said. According to this data, humans carry antibodies for the Centauri plague that wiped out millions of beings 300 years ago. We do? Jake asked. How is that possible? We've never even been to the Centauri system. Dr. Zixel manipulated the display to show more information. The plague organism is very similar to several Earth bacteria that cause what you call food poisoning. Your ancestors developed immunity to these bacteria over thousands of years. That same immunity protects you from the Centauri plague. The same pattern appears throughout your medical history, Dr. Voss added, reading from her own tablet. Human treatments for common illnesses work against alien diseases that other species consider incurable. Jake shook his head in disbelief. You're telling me that getting sick from bad food made us immune to alien plagues? In simple terms, yes, Dr. Zixel confirmed. Your species adapted to survive on a world where everything was trying to kill. That adaptation made you resistant to threats from across the galaxy. The door to the medical center opened, and several new aliens entered. Jake recognized a few of them as high-ranking officials from different worlds. They all wore fancy uniforms covered in symbols he could not read. Dr. Zixel said, a large alien with blue skin and 4 arms. I am Admiral Dexkar, from the Galactic Defense Council. We need to discuss the military implications of your research. Jake stood up, feeling uncomfortable. Military implications? We're talking about medicine here. Admiral Dexkar turned his attention to Jake. Captain Morrison, your species' resistance to biological weapons could change the balance of power in this sector of space. Several hostile civilizations use toxin-based weapons that would be useless against humans. We're not looking for a fight, Jake said firmly. We just want to explore space and make friends with other species. Of course, the Admiral replied. But you must understand that other civilizations may see humans as a threat now. Species that cannot be harmed by biological weapons might be considered too dangerous to allow expansion into their territory. Dr. Voss stepped forward. Admiral, humans have no interest in conquest or warfare. were scientists and explorers. That may be true, said another alien, this one with green fur and 6 eyes. But the Zephyrian Empire has already begun spreading rumors that humans are a warrior species immune to their primary weapons. They are calling for restrictions on human travel through their space. Jake felt anger building in his chest. That's ridiculous. We've never even met these Zephyrians. How can they be afraid of us? Dr. Zixel's skin shifted to a darker color. Captain Morrison, fear often comes from lack of understanding. When other species learn that humans can survive toxins that kill everyone else, they may assume you developed this ability for warfare, rather than survival. But that's not true, Jake protested. We know that, Dr. Voss said gently. But perception can be as important as reality in galactic politics. Admiral Vexkar activated a holographic display showing a map of nearby star systems. Several worlds have already requested detailed information about human capabilities. The Korthok Confederacy wants to know if humans can be harmed by their nerve agents. The Stellar Republic is asking about human resistance to their bioweapons. Jake stared at the map, seeing his home system marked as a small dot among hundreds of other worlds. What are you saying? That we're going to be banned from space because we don't die easily enough? Not banned, the Admiral replied, but possibly restricted. Some civilizations may require humans to undergo medical treatments that reduce your immune capabilities before allowing you into their territory. That's insane, Dr. Voss said. You're talking about deliberately weakening human immune systems to make other species feel safer. Dr. Zixtel had been quiet during this exchange, but now he spoke up. There may be another way to approach this problem. Instead of seeing human immunity as a threat, we should focus on how it can benefit everyone. What do you mean? Admiral Vexkar asked. The research we are conducting here could lead to new medical treatments for diseases that affect multiple species. Human blood contains antibodies that could be synthesized into medicines. Rather than fearing human capabilities, other civilizations should be eager to work with them. Jake looked at the alien doctor with new respect. You mean use our immunity to help cure diseases? Exactly, Dr. Zixtel replied. Imagine if we could create vaccines based on human immune responses. We could eliminate plagues that have existed for centuries. The room fell silent as everyone considered this possibility. Jake could see the alien officials exchanging looks and having quiet conversations in languages the translator could not handle. Finally, Admiral Vexkar spoke. Dr. Zixtel, how long would it take to develop such treatments? With proper funding and cooperation from human medical authorities, we could have preliminary results within months. Full treatments might take years, but the potential benefits are enormous. Jake felt a spark of hope. So instead of being afraid of us, other species would want to work with us. It is possible, the Admiral admitted, but it would require careful diplomacy and extensive cooperation between human and alien scientists. Dr. Voss stepped forward. Earth would be willing to participate in such research. Our medical community has always been committed to helping others. Then we have a path forward, Dr. Zixtel said, his skin glowing bright gold again. Instead of seeing humans as a threat, we can position them as healers. Your immunity could become a gift to the galaxy rather than a source of fear. Jake looked down at Ranger, who was now completely recovered and wagging his tail. What had started as a simple rescue mission had turned into something that could change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. 6 months later, Jake Morrison stood on the stage of the largest conference hall on Kepler Station. The room was packed with beings from across the galaxy, all gathered for the first Interspecies Medical Summit. Representatives from over 50 different worlds had come to hear about the breakthrough research that started with a simple dog bite. Jake wore his best-dressed uniform, though he still felt uncomfortable being the center of attention. Ranger sat beside him on the stage, completely healthy and wearing a special collar that marked him as the first survivor of a shadow maw bite in recorded history. The dog seemed to enjoy all the attention much more than Jake did. Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of all classifications, Jake began, reading from notes that Dr. Lisa Voss had helped him prepare. 6 months ago, I thought I was just trying to save my friend's life. I had no idea that our visit to Dr. Zixtel would change everything. In the audience, Jake could see the familiar crystal form of Dr. Zixtel, whose skin was glowing bright gold with pride. Next to him sat Dr. Lisa Voss, and dozens of other human and alien scientists who had worked together on the research project. We learned that humans aren't special because we're stronger or smarter than other species, Jake continued. We're different because we come from a world that spent millions of years trying to kill us. Every disease, every poison, every dangerous creature on Earth made us tougher without us even realizing it. Jake looked down at his notes, then decided to speak from the heart instead. The doctors tell me that human blood contains antibodies for diseases that have killed millions of beings across the galaxy. We didn't develop these immunities to be weapons. We developed them to survive long enough to grow crops, raise families, and explore the stars. The audience was completely silent, hanging on every word. Jake could see beings taking notes on various devices, some of which floated in the air, while others projected holographic displays. Dr. Zixtel and his team have already created treatments for 12 different diseases using human immune system data. The Centauri plague that killed 3 million beings 300 years ago can now be cured with a simple injection. The Korthok nerve toxin that has terrorized border worlds for decades is no longer fatal. Jake paused to let the translator devices catch up in all the different languages represented in the room. But this is just the beginning, Earth has agreed. To share all of our medical knowledge with the galactic community, we're establishing research stations on 20 different worlds where human and alien doctors will work together. The crowd erupted in sounds that the translators couldn't convert. But Jake assumed they were expressions of approval from the various species present. He waited for the noise to die down before continuing. Some of you were worried that humans might use our immunity as a weapon. I understand that fear, but I want you to know something about my species. We've always believed that the strongest thing you can do is help someone who's weaker than you. We don't want to conquer the galaxy. We want to heal it.
Ow.
At the audience, and saw Admiral Dexcar nodding in approval. The military leader had become one of humanity's strongest supporters after seeing the medical breakthroughs that came from the research. The Morrison Institute for Human Resilience Studies has been established right here on Kepler Station, Jake announced. Dr. Zixtel will serve as the director, and we'll have researchers from every major civilization working together to turn human immunity into treatments that can save lives across the galaxy. Dr. Zixtel stood up from his seat and walked to the stage. His crystal skin was cycling through colors Jake had never seen before, which he had learned meant the alien doctor was extremely emotional. Captain Morrison is too modest, Dr. Zixtel said, his 6 arms gesturing toward Jake. This human and his companion have given us the greatest medical breakthrough in galactic history. But more than that, they have shown us what it means to turn survival into service. The alien doctor activated a holographic display that showed medical data from the past 6 months. Using human immune system research, we have developed cures for 17 previously fatal diseases. We have created antidotes for 34 different toxins. We have eliminated 3 major plagues that have existed for centuries. The audience responded with more untranslatable sounds of amazement and approval. Jake could see beings from different worlds shaking hands, touching tentacles, and performing other gestures of friendship and cooperation. But the greatest discovery, Dr. Zixtel continued, is not medical. It is the realization that what appears to be weakness can actually be strength. Humans survived on their dangerous world not by becoming cruel or aggressive, but by becoming resilient and adaptive. They learned to heal rather than harm. Jake felt his face getting red with embarrassment at all the praise. He looked down at Ranger, who wagged his tail and seemed completely unbothered by the attention. Dr. Lisa Voss joined them on the stage, carrying a tablet with the latest research results. The Morrison Institute has already received funding requests from 47 different worlds, she announced. Everyone wants to participate in this research program. Even the Zephyrian Empire has requested a research partnership. Admiral, Dexcar called out from the audience. The same civilization that wanted to restrict human travel 6 months ago now wants to establish joint medical facilities. Jake smiled at that news. the Zephyrians had been one of the most vocal opponents of human expansion into their territory. Now they were offering to share their most advanced medical technology in exchange for access to human immune system data. "What's next for the program?" asked a reporter from one of the galactic news networks. Dr. Zixthal answered, "We are planning to establish research stations in every major star system. Each station will focus on diseases and toxins specific to that region of space. Human doctors will work alongside local medical experts to develop treatments that can help everyone." "And Captain Morrison," another reporter called out, "what are your plans now?" Jake thought for a moment before answering. "Ranger and I are going back to what we do best, exploring new worlds and meeting new species. But now we'll be carrying medical supplies and research equipment, along with our regular survey gear. Every world we visit will get the chance to participate in this program." The conference continued for hours, with scientists presenting research results and government officials discussing cooperation agreements. Jake eventually left the stage and found a quiet corner where he could watch the proceedings with Ranger. Dr. Zixthal found them there as the conference was ending. "Captain Morrison, I wanted to thank you personally. When you first arrived at my medical center, I thought I was simply treating another dying animal. Instead, you gave me the greatest discovery of my career. Doc, you saved Ranger's life."
That's
"All that mattered to me," Jake replied. "You saved much more than that," the alien doctor said. "You showed the galaxy that humans are not a species to be feared, but one to be welcomed as healers and friends." As beings from different worlds began leaving the conference hall, Jake could see them talking excitedly about the new medical programs. Species that had been suspicious of each other for centuries were now planning joint research projects. Jake picked up Ranger and headed toward the docking bay, where the Aurora was waiting. Their next mission would take them to the edge of known space, where they would explore new worlds and establish the first remote research station of the Morrison Institute. "Come on, boy," Jake said to Ranger as they walked through the corridors of Kepler Station. "We've got work to do. The galaxy's a big place, and there are a lot of people out there who could use our help." Behind them, the sounds of cooperation and friendship filled the air as the galaxy's species began working together in ways they never had before.